Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from Strait Shores, New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Friday, April the 24th, 2026, and you are watching episode 145. Welcome. This is my podcast where I share my knitting adventures with you and crocheting and lots of fibery fun. So if that's your jam, then hopefully you enjoy. Always, if you would like to, if you could click the like button down below, it does help. Maybe subscribe. It definitely does help me, so that would be much appreciated. So yeah, if you are new, welcome. Yeah, today I have some finished objects to share with you. I have some works in progress. Kind of did a little bit of a cast on party, not too bad, but yeah, I have some new exciting things that are on the needles, and no socks. No completed socks this week. I do have socks in works in progress, but no completed socks this week. So grab your beverage of choice, grab your crafting, and let's just get started. So as I said, I have no finished socks. I actually didn't manage to get any out this week. I kind of just... It was a bit of a slower week. My hands are starting to get a little bit better. I talked about that on the last episode. My hands were really, really sore. They have gotten better, but still not as much crafting, I feel, as I normally would do, which is fine. It's fine. We all have those times. But yeah, I do have some finished objects to share with you today. They are crochet, so I'm just going to go out of camera for a moment and get them. So the first ones that I have are some little turtles, and I really love these. They are so much fun. The pattern is Plush 2-in-1 Turtles by Planet PIU. I don't know how to pronounce that last part correctly. That's why I just spelt it out for, but it'll be linked in the description box below. I have made so many of these guys. They are great market sellers, and they're just stinking cute, and you get to play with so many colors. So here's the first one that I did. Now this is the worsted weight version that I've done. So the pattern is written for like a blanket type yarn. I chose to do worsted, and I think even in the pattern, they even have like a worsted weight. So it's just according to the yarn, you just adjust your hook size. So for me, I'm using a 3.75 millimeter hook to do the worsted weight. I find that's a good gauge, and it keeps the holes nice and tight. So for this, I'm just using Burnett, I think it's Super Value yarn in worsted. I don't have any colorway names for you. And it does come with this cute little flower. He's so cute. And he is no sew. So if you don't like sewing on parts, then this is like the perfect little project. Because as you know, I don't like sewing on parts, and that's why I think I love the turtle so much. So this turtle has the long neck version. I always do the long neck version. There is a short necked version as well. I've just never done it because I don't really like the look of it. I think this is adorable. So there's that one. And then I decided to do it in blanket yarn because I'm obsessed with blanket yarn, you guys. And I made this one. And as you can tell, the size difference, quite the difference, isn't it? I just love the blanket yarn. I think the worsted is awesome too. I have a lot of worsted yarn, so I get to play with a lot of color. I don't have as much in the blanket yarn, like for color. I'm starting to, but I had some green and I had some brown. And I made this guy. So this is Burnett blanket yarn. The deeper brown is actually loops and threads, actually, if I can remember correctly. This is Brunette Blanket. And then I had used the same brown and just did a two-tone brown. Aren't they cute? Oh my god, they are so cute. And they're so squishy too. Like, oh my gosh. I want to be a child again and have all these plushies because they are just so amazing. So again, long-necked version, no sew. All these parts, you do not have to sew them on. Amazing. I love that. So that was the Plush 2-in-1 Turtles by Planet PIU. I will have that posted down below. It is a paid-for pattern, and I believe I purchased it off of Etsy. I cannot remember. If it wasn't Etsy, it was amagurumi.com, but I will make sure to link it below. Okay. The next two that I have are, of course, by Oak and Marlow, because I'm a little bit obsessed with Oak and Marlow, as you guys know, so I just had to make more of those. So this time I chose to do the Marley dog, and this is Marley. This is Brunette Blanket yarn in the Grello colorway. Yes, Bobby remembered the name of one of the colorways. I think it is just so fun. I got it off of Amazon. It was actually on sale. These are the 300-gram balls of Brunette Blanket yarn, and it was on sale. I got 2 balls of it, and I just fell in love with the colorway because it's got the cream in it, it's got the gray, it's got the gold, and yeah, it's just perfect. You don't have to do any color changes. It just does it itself. It's so cute. One of the things that I did differently on this pattern is I modified and put a tail because, again, I think a dog needs a tail. So I put a little tail on. I just picked up some stitches here and did a chain, and yeah, that's all I did. And then I actually did the eye shaping. And the eye shaping does make a big difference. And I realized that in her Oak and Marlow, Jocelyn, in one of her videos, in one of the patterns, I'm sorry, she has a video and it links you to YouTube and she shows you what she does to shape the faces. And I think that is incredible. So each animal is going to have different shaping for its face, but I watched it for the eye shaping. And do you see how it puckers the eyes in a bit there? And it just gives like some shape to his face. I think that just adds so much detail to the toy. So that's what I chose to do. And there's a little bit more shaping here for his nose and his mouth. It's just so cute. And then I made another Marley dog. His ears, once I gotta fix his ear. I made another Marley dog. And this time I did the little vest. The little vest is free if you get the Marley dog pattern, but you could also get the pattern off of her blog for free or purchase it separately as a PDF ad-free pattern. The vest is so cute. It's just so stinking cute. And it will fit any of the Fable animals, just like any of the other accessories. The hat is not an accessory that comes with the Fable collection. It's something I did. I saw his little vest and I was like, wouldn't he be cool with a baseball cap? So I just did a baseball cap. I just freehanded it, and I'm not really liking this part. I think I made this part too long. It should have been 1 row shorter. But it is what it is now. I'm not going to change it. And as you can see, there's his cute little face. He's so cute. So that is my second Marley dog, and this is all Burnett blanket yarn as well. Now, I didn't put a tail on him because he's got his jacket. I don't know. Some of them I put tails on, some I don't. So cute. So Marley Dog by Oak and Marlowe. That's what these ones are. And they are done in the worsted, worsted. They are done in the blanket yarn, but you can do them in worsted as well. It's just that you're going to have a much smaller toy. Okay, so that's all I have for finished objects. Next, we will go on into works in progress. So where shall we start? How about we start with socks? Let's do that. So the first one that I have to share with you guys, I believe I shared on the last podcast. I believe I just had the cuff done, but I worked on it only a little bit. This is my Knit Picks Felici in the Lisa colorway. And like I said, I only worked on it a little bit. This is still the first sock. Didn't get much done at all. But I am loving the colorway. It is so nice. So yeah, I just did my normal recipe, 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing. I do about 50 rows for my leg, just a standard sock. If you are looking for a good pattern, I always recommend that you go to Crazy Sock Lady. She is here on YouTube and she is on Ravelry and Instagram. She has lots of fabulous patterns, and she has lots of fabulous videos as well to get you started. And it's not just for magic loop. She has magic loop. She's got 9-inch circular. She's got DPNs, 2 at a time. Like, it's just amazing. And she also has a DK weight pattern as well if you wanted to use DK weight to do socks. So I always highly recommend Crazy Sock Lady. She's just amazing. I love her. So if you're looking for a little guidance on numbers and stuff like that, I would check it out there, because I believe she has them. She does. I believe the patterns are free for your basic vanilla sock. So the next one that I have is in a cute bag that I made. And this yarn, I have no idea what it is. I got this as a D-stash, and like I said, I have no idea. I really don't. But it is beautiful. It is totally my jam. And it was already caked up. So I was like, okay, this is like perfect. I don't have to cake it up. All I have to do is grab my needles and cast on. So that is like perfect. So this one here, I am already down into the heel. I'm just trying to get my needles uncurled here so I can show you. There we go. Isn't that pretty? It's almost got like a watercolor vibe. And I got my heel flap done, and I did my heel turn. It's so pretty. I love these socks. These are going to be amazing. So it is a fingering weight. I just don't know what it is. It almost feels like an 80-20 for sure, but hard to say. Hard to say. But I think those socks are going to be mine because I really love that color. That is amazing. Okay, so I have been slowly working on those ones as well. However, I have been captivated by scrappy socks. And I don't like necessarily doing scrappy socks because I don't like putting the ends in. So a couple episodes back, you would have saw that I did a magic knot ball and did a pair of socks with them. Well, we are now into week 2 or 3. I want to say this is going on week 3 now. My friend Wrecker, yes, we call him Wrecker. He has been wearing them nonstop. He's been wearing them every single day. I only had one knot come loose, and I just I retied it for him. But other than that, they are holding up phenomenally, and he has not, like I said, he's been wearing them every day. He should be taking them off. Yes, they need to be washed. But he has been wearing them every day, and he is hard on his socks. He wears work boots all the time, and he goes outside and he works, and these socks are holding up. So I was thinking I would like to make another pair. So what we did this time is, with his help, because he is so patient when it comes to yarn and when it comes to untangling yarn. Me, on the other hand, I am not. I would rather cut the yarn, or not exactly throw yarn away, because I wouldn't do that. But I would definitely cut the yarn, just because I would be so frustrated with it. But he is not like that. He will just work his magic and somehow he untangles it. All that to say, he asked me if I would be willing to make him another pair, but this time if we could make them both look the same, and I said yes. So we went through some scraps, and we were just picking random ones that we thought would look nice together. And we would use, I got one of those little scales. So I just put the ball on the scale and weigh it out. And if it's 4 grams, say, then we would split that into 2. So 2 grams, 2 grams. Some of them were like 6 grams. So there was 3 grams and 3 grams, you know, that kind of thing. So then I magic knotted them together and caked them up. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to share with you first my cake of yarn. Now there is some what I would call zebra in here. That's timber yarns. There is also some self-striping in here. There is some pretty old scraps in here. And these are all colors that I was kind of just trying to be as random as possible. He just wanted random as possible. So that's what I was trying to do, because when I start putting scraps together, I tend to think a little bit too much, and then it doesn't become as fun. So I was just trying to reach in the bucket and what's the next one and that kind of deal. So this is the color scheme that we come up with. I absolutely love this green. I wish I knew what this was. I want to say it's Polka Dot Creek, but I don't know. Anywho, the beginning of the sock for the cuff, I had a ball of Nova Knits, and I wish I could remember what the colorway is, but I looked on her shop and she doesn't have it in there currently. But it's this beautiful yellow. And I have a full skein of it. So I took, I didn't take anything off the ball. I just did the cuff, my 2x2 ribbing for 20 rows. And then I cut the yarn, and then I had an extra set of needles, so I'm doing 2 at a time, just not on the same cable. And I cast it on the second one, and then I started with our magic knot ball. So here's what it's looking like so far. So as you can see, we got some wide stripes again. I would love the stripes to be a lot shorter. That way there's more colors, but I guess the more we do this, the more we're going to learn. Like this purple definitely was shorter. The gray was shorter. I wish we had more like that, but that's okay. So I'm already down into the heel flap, and I did the heel turn on sock 1 and sock 2. So they're both in the same spot right now. And these have been my main focus because they're just so much fun. I really love it. And I think it's because you get through one color and you just want to get to the next one and then the next one. So it makes it a lot of fun. And I have been enjoying that thoroughly. So, yep. See, we got some pink in there. That's actually got sparkle in it. And I was like, are you sure you want pink sparkle? And he's like, yeah, I do. Okay. It was just a random one that I pulled out and he wanted it. So it's like, okay, that's cool. I'm getting scraps out of my bucket. Not that you would notice because that's the bucket and that bucket is still like really full. But hey, it's working down. So that makes me happy. So there is my scrappy socks, my Magic Knot scrappy socks. So would I recommend doing Magic Knot scrappy socks? I would leave it up to your discretion. Like I said, only one knot pulled apart, and it may be that I didn't tie it tight enough. I'm not sure. But I think that's pretty decent that they've been hanging in this long. So that's pretty good. So that's why I'm knitting him another pair, because I think they're gonna last. So anyways, that is it for sock knitting. I did not touch my opal socks. I'm fairly sure I showed you the first one is already done on the last episode, but I haven't touched them this week, so it's not even worth showing because I didn't do anything. But that has been my sock knitting for this past week. Now on to one of the most exciting things that I've been knitting on this week, at least to me, is my Jaunty by Andrea Mowry, which is in my beautiful Daisy Girl and Company bag. And I got to sit outside quite a bit this past week. We had some pretty decent temperatures and it's been sunny and it's just been so lovely. So I was sitting outside just enjoying, and I wanted to work on my Jaunty. And that's exactly what I did. So I'm going to share the yarn with you first. So I'm using Indigo Dragonfly. And this is on her Mergoat sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And it is 400 meters, 115 grams. And it's got a special edition tag on it. And the colorway is called Toothpaste A Go-Go. So this is what the beautiful yarn looks like. And since the last time we spoke, I got that much done on it. So I was down here, and I got to put a different stitch marker, progress keeper, I mean, because it's pulling on my stitches a bit, but that's how far I got. So there it is so far. And I'm not sure if you guys are going to see it because I see it right away, but I messed up on the shawl and I am not going to pull it back out. So when I first started the shawl, I accidentally missed a row and miscalculated, because these stitches are your wrong side stitches. These are your right side stitches. And if we turn it over, you can definitely see these are the wrong side stitches and here's the right side stitches. So it's a half fisherman's rib, and this is the first time I've ever done it, and somehow I got turned around. So I would highly recommend that if you are to do it, make sure you put a progress keeper almost right away. But I'm not pulling it out because it's my shawl and I really don't care. You're not going to notice it, and if you do, then you're way too close to me. So yeah, but I'm not pulling that out, not for that. But oh my gosh, you guys, I just love it so much. It's so nice. The half fisherman's rib is very much like a brioche, and oh, it's lovely. It's so squishy, and with the cashmere, it's amazing. So I have been working on that quite a bit, and I have been really loving it. So that is the Jaunty shawl by Andrea Mowry. And I explained this on the last episode, but I'll just say it really quick again. How it is done, you can do it in fingering weight, sport, DK, worsted, even in Aran, I believe. What you do is you work up half of your yarn, and then you decrease the other side of it, which I really love those because you can use up those single skeins if you wanted to. Or you could have, if you do like the DK in that, you would probably need more than one skein because you wouldn't want it to be too small, right? But if you had 2 skeins of yarn, you could work the first ball for your increases and then the second ball for your decreases, like something like that. So I really love those types of shawls because, especially for fingering weight, I know for myself, I have a lot of fingering weight skeins that are just single and I kind of don't know what to do with them besides knitting socks, but I also love my shawls, so I'm really hoping that this one is going to be somewhat of a decent size and that I'm going to love it, and I'm pretty sure I will. So, and it's, like I said, it's really squishy, so that makes it really nice. So the Jaunty, Andrea Mowry, go check it out. It's a wonderful pattern. Okay, I have one more, woo, glare. I have one more project to share with you guys that I only worked on a little bit, but I finally made a decision. So first, it is in my beautiful bag by Awesome Granny. It's a winter bag, but guess what, guys? I love it, and her bags are just amazing. They're big and they hold so much. And this is a sweater's quantity, so it needs to hold. I need a bag to hold that much. Okay, so on the last episode, I told you that I have a sweater's quantity of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the Wreath Heather Tweed. So it is Wool of the Andes Tweed. It's worsted weight yarn in the Wreath Heather. And I really want a cardigan from it. And I was going back and forth. I was like, oh, I don't know which cardigan I want to do. I was going to do the Harvest. Like, that was the one I was kind of focused on. And then I saw the Cat Bells cardigan by Pip and Pin. And the Harvest is by Tin Can Knits. But I was just like going between the two and I wasn't sure. And then this past week, I actually wore my Autumn League pullover, sorry, by Two of Wands, and I wore that quite a bit this week, guys, and it was really nice. But I was like, that's a pullover, and I was like, well, I could do that, and then I was like, yeah, but I'm really seeing this yarn in a cardigan. And as you can see back here, I got my Comfort Fade cardigan by Andrea Mowry, but I was like, no, I don't think that's gonna work either. It's just not right. Anyways, as I was thinking of Andrea Mowry, I was like thinking of all of her patterns. And then it dawned on me that I had started a Jinny cardigan by Andrea Mowry a long time ago. And I had started it. It was already into the body of the sweater, and then we had a house fire and I lost that cardigan in the fire, and I wasn't able to reknit another one right away because I was, you know, all that. But I was like, oh my gosh, the Jinny is the perfect cardigan. It is a beautiful open front cardigan that has this big shawl collar, and it also has a tie that you knit, that you can, like a sash that you can tie. I wouldn't do that part. I just like to pull my cardigans over, but it's got a big shawl collar on it, and I just love that. So I was like, oh my god, that's the one I'm going to do. So that's what we're doing, guys. And I ain't pulling this one out. This one is getting done. So I casted it on. and I've gotten this far. So not too far, but it is a raglan construction. And I'm loving it. I am so loving it. I cannot wait for this, guys. It's going to be so nice with a black shirt underneath. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And the tweed is just so pretty. So not a lot to show for here, but I definitely wanted to give you guys an update on it because I am really excited about this now. This is going to be perfect. And I am so glad that I actually took a step back from it for a minute, because I wasn't really happy with my decisions that I had made at first. And now I am just like so ecstatic. So I'm glad I didn't rush it too much. So yeah, that is my progress that I have made this week on my Jinny cardigan by Andrea Mowry. I love her. Just love her. Okay, guys, that is all I have for today. So like I said, I don't feel like it's a lot, but I guess it is. So we'll see what I get up to this week coming, and I will be back hopefully next week with a new episode. So until then, guys, I hope it's beautiful where you are. It's cool today, but it's still sunny and nice. I am about to head out and go get a coffee and enjoy the afternoon. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I hope you have a beautiful weekend and week ahead, and happy crafting, and God bless. Bye.